analyze your dreams. We have a renowned dream psychologist who is going to analyze the dreams of people in our studio audience and you out there if you'll give us a call. You're also going to find out what it means if you have an erotic dream about someone other than your partner. You're going to find out dream clues so that you can find your ideal mate. And you're going to find out, among other things, how your dreams can improve your sex life. Can you hardly wait? I know it. Absolutely. We're going to start with Heidi Fox. She's married to Andrew, sitting next to her. You say you have dreams about men other than Andrew, sexy dreams.
Well, yes. One in particular, which I could share with you. This one was interesting because it involved an actor, and I'm in a large, deserted public building with Andrew, and somehow we get separated, and I end up down in a basement. And then the basement gets very big, and there's marble and marble pedestals, and out from a back room comes the actor Gregory Hines, and he says, "I'm here to be your guide." And there's a woman there too, and I can't see her face, but I know she's a friend. And then
a friend of yours or Gregory's?
A friend of mine. Somehow she just feels real secure, and then all these men start coming out from this back room. And they surround us, and they start touching us. And we're frightened, but we're also getting a little turned on. And the guide says, these men are all dead. So I think to myself, well, now if they're dead, they're ghosts, so they can't hurt me. I guess it's okay if I let them touch me. So they start touching me, and I start getting turned on. But then I get really frightened, and I take off running, and all these guys are chasing me, and chasing me is like several hundred men.
And
are they like Mae West, eat your heart out?
Are they like see-through men, like, you know, at Disney World's haunted house?
No, they look like real guys.
Real guys, they do, okay?
A little pale. And then one of them grabs me and throws me down, and he ties me up. And he looks at me and he says, "Before I died, I was a prisoner, and I haven't seen a woman in years." And he starts to examine me very carefully, like I'm this piece of artwork. And then I really get turned on, and we start making love. So then Gregory Hines comes back, and he unties me, and then I wake up.
Now, I'm curious.
What happened to Andrew? Oh, poor thing. He got left upstairs.
When you have a dream like this, how do you react? And I mean, do you tell Andrew right away that you dream such dreams?
Well, yeah, as soon as we get a chance, we share our dreams.
And your reaction, Andrew, is there a little jealousy on your part?
Well, there was a lot of fear, and there was a little shock in the beginning.
Fear? Explain that.
Well, just of competition with another man, or of 100 men chasing my wife. There was just a little bit of protective urge in me, and fear that she'd be hurt, and fear that I would lose her. But we have worked very hard on trying to share the dangerous things and the scary things, so that we've developed an environment of safety, because we feel it's very important for a healthy relationship.
Now, Andrew, turnabout's fair play. Have you ever honestly dreamed about someone other than Heidi?
Yes, I several days later had a dream which it was of an exotic dancer. It was in my living room, and this lady was a very dark-haired, dark-eyed, beautiful lady, and she was doing a sensual dance around my living room, and actually wafting up into the air and coming back down to earth and tossing flowers on me, and in the meantime paying a lot of very sensual attention to me. Well, naturally, this was quite enjoyable, and when I woke up in the morning, we shared the dream, and then what happened about a week later was even more interesting, because I was sitting in the living room one evening, and who comes out of the bedroom dressed as the exotic dancer in a dark wig and the whole costume, but
Heidi!
He gave me an idea.
So you fulfilled his dream, so to speak. So this has, we could say, that this has kind of improved your sex life.
Have you ever dreamed of, like, real life people, being with somebody who maybe is a close friend in real life?
I did. Yeah, I had one about my ex-boyfriend.
And this is while you were married to Andrew?
Yes, while we were married. It was kind of early on in our marriage, and this guy, let's see, I was in a zoo, and he was a maintenance man. It was like a birdhouse, a closed-in aviary, and there were all these beautiful tropical birds flying around, and he walked in with a small bobcat, a little lynx. But the lynx was watching all these birds, and I started to think, I hope it doesn't eat the birds. Anyway, it didn't, and he started feeding the birds so tenderly that I got very excited, and we started feeding these birds together, and we started making love. And
you shared that with Andrew, and
yeah, I did.
He probably felt just a little
wild
insecure
about that one at first.
Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, I'd like to know, I have dreams every once in a while that I'm in a bright room, real bright room, and there's someone at the end of a tunnel, like, that's waving me on. And I think it's my late husband, my second husband. And I'm just wondering if what that could mean.
Well,
Maybrook, here we are. Our renowned dream psychologists, center stage. What does that mean?
That sounds very much like these out-of-body near-death experiences that we get reports about so often. People who really die and almost come back, and while they are in that
Can you get to
momentarily dead state, they see this tunnel and the light at the end, and this sounds very similar to that.
Could you arrive at that same thing without, just dreaming, without?
Yes, you could dreaming. In fact, some people now think those near-death experiences may actually be dreams.
Well, now, do you have a feeling a lot of people might say, well, maybe her deceased husband is trying to communicate with her?
That's possible, and I think it depends on what you believe, really.
And you could do that through dreams, possibly, if you believed in that.
Well, if you believe in that, she might look at other things. When we dream of a dead person, sometimes it means that we're dreaming about some part of ourselves that has died. Maybe there's something about her husband that she especially liked, and that part of herself is not very active right now.
Let's talk about people who are alive now. Thank you, caller. Is this a good idea to be sharing your dreams that have some erotic sidebars to them with each other?
Oh, absolutely. And as I said, everything in a dream may be standing for something else. Dreams have a language of their own. And these pictures and images that we see, these movies that run in our heads, may be symbols for something else. So, for instance, we didn't even ask Heidi what the animal in the dream meant. Animals in women's dreams usually have a big significance.
You mean the little cat, the little lynx?
Oh, what was it? A lynx, a bobcat.
What did that bobcat mean?
Well,
to me, we figured this out. See, my ex-boyfriend's name was Bob.
That wasn't real difficult.
He was kind of catting around.
Dreams will often have a pun in them like that, and they can be so much fun when you figure out the delightful aspects of what your imagination can come up with.
Well, let's take a commercial break. When we come back, let's find out more about what animals mean in women's dreams.